चले जैसे हो.
Listen, we are going live. We are going live. We are
Oh,
going
we're
live.
live.
Yeah.
Yes, we are live. We are live.
Hello, guys. Hello, guys. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Couch Pundits
Yes,
post race
we are
Miami
live. We
GP.
are live.
So joining me is Arsh. Hey, man, Arsh.
ये तेरा स्ट्रीम चालू है क्या पीछे बैकएंड में?
नहीं.
तो फिर आवाज कहाँ से आ रहा है? ये तेरा स्ट्रीम चालू है क्या पीछे बैकएंड में? फिर आवाज कहाँ से आ रहा है? See, it's your
Yeah.
stream.
Am I audible
हाँ,
now?
yeah. Hello, City. We're live. How are you guys? How's Hope everyone's keeping well after such an amazing, interesting race. Hello, Siri. We're live. Sid, तेरा बैकएंड पे चालू है, bro. Hope everyone's keeping well after such an amazing, interesting race. Hello, Siri. We're live. Sid, तेरा बैकएंड पे चालू है.
I don't know what is happening,
Well,
man.
after such an amazing. Have you started the stream in the background? Like YouTube पे,
I
have
don't
you
know
put
what
the
is
stream on?
happening, man.
So, have you started the stream in the background? Like YouTube पे, have you put the stream on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think we're good to go. Yeah.
Started the stream.
Why is it
No,
repeat?
Utkarsh just said YouTube backend पे mute कर.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think we're good to go. Yeah.
No, bro.
Why is it repeat?
Utkarsh just said YouTube backend पे mute कर. City, it's okay. It's the first time going live from the backend. चलेगा. Sorry guys, technical issue. Utkarsh just said backend पे. City, it's okay. It's the first time going live from the backend. चलेगा. Sorry guys, technical issue. Utkarsh just said.
Hey guys, hi. Hey guys, we are so sorry for the technical issue. थोड़ा इंटर्न हम लोग का छुट्टी पे चला गया तो कुछ आइडिया नहीं है हम लोग को क्या करना है. तो guys इसके लिए हम लोग सब संभाल रहे हैं.
Our intern थोड़ा is in transit right now. वो intern नहीं है रे.
So yeah, but our actual intern is supposed to do this. तो है नहीं.
Yeah.
We're doing all of it.
Anyway, welcome to Miami post-race discussion to one of probably the most American post-race.
And the most boring race of this calendar. I don't know.
Which is why I'm saying most American. क्योंकि boring था. Celebrations भी fuck all थे. I mean, there was why do you have we'll get to everything in a bit, but celebrations I really want to talk about. Why do you have a police escort inside the stadium? A and B, football helmets.
That was very weird. Like
क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग?
ये चीज तो तुम कितना अमेरिकन कर सकते हो? I mean,
हाँ, like the only thing that was left was the winner of the Grand Prix, Max Verstappen, gets like a gun and shoots it in the air. Like that's the only thing, and he like
they
throws
start singing. The only thing left, I think, was they start singing the American national anthem.
national anthem instead of the Dutch. सच्ची रे.
I mean, it was such a boring race, but yeah, we got to see a lot of things. Like we got to see.
We'll start with qualifying. Let's start with qualifying. I mean, qualifying. Who do you think City surprised you the most in quali?
I think it was. I think Yuki Tsunoda has been kind of a surprise this whole season.
Correct. He's been
The way
consistent.
the way he's consistently driven, and we already knew he had that amount of raw pace, but I think he's giving a tough fight to Gasly, and he's kind of strengthening his position in the team, and he's asking for more because from what we saw in the last season, there has been a focal shift, and apart from that, this in qualies, I think Mercedes looked better as a car, but I know what happened, and of course, you can't end without how Bottas has been driving the car. I mean, it's something else only on this. The way he's been driving the car and the kind
Bottas
of
out qualified both the Mercedes.
he out qualified both the Mercedes. अगर वो रेस में लॉकअप भी नहीं होता था, तो पता नहीं रसल को पोजीशन मिलता कि नहीं,
सही
बिकॉज
है।
रसल ओनली गॉट दैट पोजीशन बिकॉज बोथार्स काइंड ऑफ went wide, and that is when Russell could
Russell
ended
and Hamilton both went through.
both went through. So it was lot of surprises in the qualies,
I mean,
and
Russell, okay, to be fair, Russell qualified P12. So I mean, after seeing FP1 and FP2, I was kind of expecting Mercedes to get back on, the front end of challenging for the points. Like, not only points, but challenging for the podiums and the win. Because if you remember FP1 or FP2, Russell was in the top three. Russell topped FP1. And in FP2 as well, they were in the top three. Like in FP3, they were what, 17th and 15th.
yeah,
Sida.
that's what the car has not been behaving the way they want it to be, because they had gotten some major upgrades in Miami with their rear wing, with the front end of the
Correct.
car, and the car wasn't behaving in the same way. They still have a lot of porpoising issues happening in the car, and that is not reduced because until and unless they tackle with the porpoising issues, because again Russell kind of had a lot of porpoising issues, that is how we got out in Q2. So that is how they will have to deal with that, because that is taking away a lot of time, and frankly it has been a lot of races now the into the season that Mercedes still has not been able to kind of get a hang of all of this. Is
I think the other teams have started dealing with the poising issue in a much better way. Like if you see
Yeah.
McLaren, Ferrari, all of them, they're not even bouncing as much. Even the Alfa Romeo and the Alfa Tauris, they're not bouncing as much. But like Mercedes, to basketball ki tarah hai, bro. Like they're just bouncing
I
on
mean,
the straights.
yeah, I mean, they've done everything. They have done everything. They have removed the paints in the car, and with the upgrades and everything. I think it's just not, they've not been able to get their game together. And with George Russell has been doing everything he could have. From qualifying 12th, when he go fourth, he's had a great
Fifth,
dive,
yeah,
and fifth. I'm sorry, and Hamilton again, Hamilton. But I think after all of this combined together also, they had a quite a good race, I would
yeah.
say.
They did P5,
वो
P6.
वो बोटास का, अगर बोटास ने अभी भी एक थर्ड फिडल प्ले करके टीम को आगे का पोजीशन दे दिया है, बट आई वुड से दैट दे in coming races, I think they need to deal with this issue in a much conclusive manner, or else what happens is that I think there has been a clear divide in the team. अगर तो टीम रेडियो में भी देख रहे हैं, yesterday
Hmm.
Hamilton was complaining about, he touched my car. रेस इंजीनियर ने सीधा बोल दिया, आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज अ डैमेज, हड़का ही दिया उसको। तो
Yeah,
उसको हैमिल्टन को मेरे को लग रहा है कि इंटरनली पता चल गया है कि वो नंबर 2 ड्राइवर हो चुका है।
हो चुका है,
वो वेटल और लेक्लेयर वाला सिचुएशन आ चुका है मर्सिडीज
आ
में,
चुका है।
जहाँ पे इसको बोला है कि भाई हाँ भाई, मतलब मेरे को लग रहा है कुछ अगले रेस में हैमिल्टन को बोलेंगे काम कर, अगर ज्यादा बाउंस हो रहा है तो वैसे भी तेरे बाल वाल इतने बड़े, तो हेलमेट मत पहन, तो आधा हेलमेट हेलमेट पहना हुआ है, यहाँ
वो
तेरे को
एनीवे
काम
बहुत
करना।
ज्वेलरी का कर रहा है ना अभी। ए समटाइम्स एफआई सेज दैट आई एम नॉट गोना वेयर ज्वेलरी, मैं अगले प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में 4 घड़ी पहन के आऊंगा।
अरे आई मीन, I think it's his last season, I feel, or something, because because already there are a lot of there have been a lot of reports that have been telling that he may switch the team, or this may be his last season. ऊपर से uh, when he got lapped in the last race uh,
ट्वाइस।
twice, and that too इसने Dr. Helmut Marko told that he should have kind of he should have quitted
रिटायर्ड।
the last season, retired. So a lot of things that affect a driver also. Then, and when you have, I spoke about this a lot in the last season also. Okay, next season won't be easy for Hamilton, because George Russell is not someone who's going to give up, and
या
he's a very demanding driver. Even when, because I was reading somewhere.
आई मीन यू कैन सी इवन he's very demanding even in the Williams, like when he was in the Williams और
Yeah, yeah,
इमेला
yeah.
इमेला में बोत्तास और उसका क्रैश हुआ था पिछले साल, he straight away went and he's like, even though it was very clear that it was Russell's fault, on the onboards, on the replays, after the post race also, everyone knew it was Russell's fault. लेकिन वो फिर भी उस crash के बाद वो बोला, how is he fighting with a Mercedes? How am I fighting with a Mercedes? Like I'm in a Williams and he's fighting with me for P8. Come on, this is not done. It's high time that he gets his act together. वो बोतास को बोल रहा है सीधा post race में. He went and hit him on the helmet. Like you can see how demanding. Like he's very entitled. More than demanding, I think he's very entitled, to put it better.
वो टिपिकल वो स्नॉबिशनेस है उसमें
वो
उसमें वो
साउथ
हर
बॉम्बे का लड़का है.
नहीं उसमें टिपिकल ब्रिटिश वाला जो स्नॉबिशनेस है ना, जैसे कि इनसिक्योरिटी भी है थोड़ा,
हाँ
थोड़ा ये भी है कि he has a little bit of superiority complex also. So it's a
करेक्ट.
very the whole British driver वाला ये है कि they all the vulnerabilities that a driver shouldn't have, a British driver has. तो अभी फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू गो टू से अगर रिकार्डो 2-3 रेस जीत जाएगा, एक ही जीत जाएगा, यू सी कैसा कैसा नॉरिस तितर बितर हो जाता है, अरे ऐसा कैसे हो गया, ये हो गया. तो वो थोड़ा है वल्नरेबिलिटी ये
सारे ब्रिटिश में. आई मीन
सब में.
जब ये he won in Monza no last year, Ricardo.
या
And when they were running P1 P2, Lando said very clearly, मुझे पोजीशन दे P1 का. उसने रेडियो पे आके
हाँ
बोला कि आई थिंक आई हैव
हाँ
बेटर
कि
पेस.
आई हैव बेटर पेस, वो स्लो जा रहा है,
वो स्लो जा रहा है, कम ऑन
ये
टेल हिम टू हरी
स्नॉबिशनेस तो
अप.
है थोड़ा, तो थोड़ा है. एंड वो भी अब प्रॉब्लम ऐसा है कि दोनों को संभालना, बट इन अ वे आई थिंक रसल हैज टेकन अवे दिस सीजन. और एक if he manages to get more 2-3 podiums, फिर तो टीम पूरा साइड ले लेगा उसका, because we have seen how
या
Mercedes is as a team, the way they treated Bottas. So apart from that, I think Mercedes proposing issues have been there, they need to solve that. And because I read somewhere.
चैट में विनीत ने बोला है, हेलो वैलेट, हेलो लुइस, दिस इज जेम्स. विनीत, गुड टू सी यू अगेन ऑन द स्ट्रीम
Hey
बडी.
man, Vineet is Vineet bhai.
He's a regular.
Yeah, like Vineet has also said that Aston Martin has dealt with the porpoising issue. I think
They've gone slow.
they've gone slow. Then there are other Merc teams, like there's McLaren जिसके पास डाउन फोर्स ही नहीं है. McLaren ऐसा है कि एक रेस में यहाँ पे there's no plateau that McLaren has
कुछ
hit.
है ही नहीं.
Like all Mercedes powered cars, they are either doing very well or they're either doing very bad.
Very shit. I mean,
So
talking of Mercedes power cars, I think it's really high time we talk about Williams and what Mr. Alex Albon has been doing, his
yeah,
magic. I mean, it's very clear to see that Williams has the pace this year. I mean, Albon will not be able to perform so well in a car that's so shit, right?
yeah.
It has to be a combination of both. And it's very clear that Williams has the pace. They have been performing well consistently, race after race. It's just that they're running a single leg race right now. They're running with just Albon, unfortunately.
So there have been rumors that
Oscar
I mean,
Piastri.
ऑस्कर पियास्ट्री, बहुत रूमर्स आया था पहले, तो
बहुत
बोल रहे
rumors
थे
है.
कि ऑस्कर पियास्ट्री मिक शूमैकर को रिप्लेस करेगा. देन देयर वाज वन मोर रूमर वेयर देन दिस अ वेरी स्ट्रांग रूमर दैट they may loan him and he may replace Latifi. So I don't know whom he'll replace, but I think a strong candidate should be Latifi. But again, team के नाम के पीछे they only have Duracell is their other main sponsor. Apart from that, it is
Doriton Capital is the main sponsor, no owners.
Yeah, so if they decide to let go Latifi and get in Oscar Piastri, it will be a great combination post the summer break, because Albon has been, because I read this somewhere where they written how Albon is as a driver with his feedback. He's pretty laid back, but
Correct.
initial settings में उसको time लगता है, but now he's totally gotten into he's gotten comfortable with the car, and he's doing great, and he's been doing a great job. He's not taken much of time to set.
He had some great finishes, no? Like, I mean, in the last 3 races तू उठा ले, उसने
P10, P11 और P9.
P20 से P11 किया, फिर P18 से P9 किया, सॉरी, फिर P20 से P10 किया, पिट लेन से, नॉट इवन P20, पिट लेन से P10 किया, फिर उसके बाद P18 से आज P9 किया है. The last 3 races he's gained 10 or 9 to 10 positions each race. So you can see that Williams are faster than the likes of Aston Martin, the likes of Haas, but like just like Haas, Williams is running a one-legged race right now. Like since we spoke about Haas and you had brought Mick Schumacher up, they were very diplomatic, Ray, about the crash, Mick and Seb.
Yeah, I mean Seb, I mean वो रहता है ना that Seb can't openly. Seb is like, Mick is one of his prodigies.
He's like a
Supposedly.
godson.
हाँ, godson है तो ज्यादा कुछ बोलेगा नहीं. But that was
Right.
a mistake, and Mick should have been more careful. And
It was clearly Seb's corner. There was no space for
yeah.
Mick to
That's what
enter.
it was his mistake, and he needs to learn from this mistake because it was a very big opportunity for him to show that he could have gotten a point for the team when Magnussen was lacking pace. So he kind of botched it up, and I don't know how this will go down well with the team, but
I think it's fine with the team. I mean, right now, one of their main sponsor is 1&1, and that is coming through Mick Schumacher. Mick
yeah,
Schumacher is sorry, 1&1 is sponsoring Mick Schumacher actually, not Haas. And because even if you remember last season when Nikita Mazepin and Mick Schumacher were on the teams, both of them had different liveries and different suits. Like निकिता मैज़ेपिन के यहाँ पे H लिखा था लेकिन उस पे 1&1 लिखा था. निकिता मैज़ेपिन के कैप पे भी H लिखा था लेकिन उस पे 1&1 लिखा था. Even on the car 1&1 specifically said that we are only going to sponsor Mick Schumacher. Now, because they don't have any other sponsor and they're giving more money, they've gotten it on both the cars. But I don't think so. वो लोग अभी Mick Schumacher at least in the first 2 years तो नहीं replace करेंगे.
नहीं.
He's a part of Ferrari driver. देख Mick Schumacher like अर्जुन तेंदुलकर, ठीक है. वो 3 सीजन कोई पॉइंट नहीं लाएगा लेकिन चलेगा. वो टीम में रखेंगे उसको.
मिक शूमैकर ने अपने आप को प्रूव भी किया है.
Yeah.
He's proved himself.
P11 with that shit box of a Haas last year.
Yeah. So he's a great driver. Just that he's been doing a couple of mistakes this season. He just needs to get his mojo back, and the car has space. And with a guy like Kevin Magnussen, who's been in the team for a while, and Kevin Magnussen is a great driver. Come on, he's been with Haas for donkey years now. He knows the team in and out.
He's
So
been there since the second or third year.
तो मेरे को लगता है कि ये जो सीजन है मिक के लिए, it is again a new car, new setting where he'll kind of get a hang of everything. He'll learn everything from scratch. I think we'll get to see a different Mick next season, or at least towards post summer break, because क्योंकि ये बहुत बड़ा गलती था. Because the kind of mistake that he did in Miami, he has to learn something from it, and I think थोड़ा गंतर से भी मिला रहेगा उसको मस्त एकदम टोचन.
I mean, इतना मस्त नहीं मिला होगा because towards the end he drove a pretty great race. वो flap 53 out of 56 या 57 में उसकी गांड फटी. लेकिन honestly speaking उसको कुछ ना कुछ तो मिला होगा कि भाई देख, you have the pace, you have this, तू क्यों कर रहा है? Like you could have just backed off very easily. तो anyways P9 के लिए लड़ रहा था. It's not like you were fighting for the last point of the race, right? अगर तू P10 के लिए लड़ रहा हो कि फाइन यू अग्रेसिव, इट्स द लास्ट पॉइंट, मैं P11 फिनिश करूंगा, मुझे पॉइंट नहीं मिलेगा. पर अगर तू P9 है, यू कैन स्टे इन P10 फॉर एटलीस्ट 1-2 लैप्स एंड देन मेक अनदर चार्ज. राइट, क्योंकि P10 है रे, तूने अपना पॉइंट नहीं कमाया अभी तक फर्स्ट F1 में. And that's the only thing that fucked him up. But now moving on from S, we'll get to, I think let's get to Alpine. Alpine showed some great pace in qualifying, man.
But they lagged. Like, did you see that overtake that Hamilton did against Alonso?
Alonso, he couldn't defend it.
He just took off, man. I think
he couldn't defend. DRS I felt was too powerful in Miami. Like even with Max Verstappen and going on to Charles Leclerc, वो DRS के साथ he went about 0.8 of a second ahead of him right after the overtake. 6-7 of a second ahead of him. Like, kaise? How much of a slipstream with the DRS did you get that you slingshot yourself so far?
I think it was too powerful, and there's some issue with the Alpine car. I think in this did not suit the circuit or something, because they just weren't there. Because if you look at the last races, and if you look at Miami,
Yeah.
especially in the main race, they just won there. Even in Imola, they're performing well, but because uh, Alpine ka progression, if you see post summer break last season and the whole the rest of the 2022 season, they have had a good car, they have had a
Yeah,
competitive
yeah.
car, and uh, now the gap is closing between them. So it's a very close gap between Alfa Romeo, Alpine, then you have Alfa Tauri, and then you have Aston Martin.
Yeah, I
Then
mean,
you have
actually, no, you got Haas first because I've got the constructors open on me. And in fact, Alfa Romeo and Alfa Romeo is sitting in P5
yeah,
with 31. Alpine is sitting in P6 with
exactly,
26. And Alfa Tauri is sitting in P7 with 16 and Haas in P8 with 15.
yeah,
So the fight for P5 in the championship is very, very strong
yeah.
with Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Alfa Tauri, and Haas. I mean, if Haas can pull something out of the bag and provide this year P5 in the constructors, I mean, obviously after um, after Mercedes, Red Bull,
It
Ferrari,
will
and
be
McLaren.
it will be tough. I think P5 in P6 भी आते हैं लोग, because see the main competition the Alfa Romeo has gone through, because the way this guy has been driving, Bottas has been
Bottas.
driving,
I mean,
and
31 points. Alfa Romeo has 30 points. Bottas has. Just
that's what.
for just for like context.
So he'll just take it away from them, and I think the main competition is between Alpha Tauri
Alfa Romeo.
and
No, no.
Alpine
I think Alpha Tauri and Alpine have a great will have a great competition towards the rest of the season. But I think if Alpha Tauri and Alpine are competing, they'll be competing against Bottas and not Alfa Romeo.
Yeah. So both the drivers in Alpha Tauri will have to score points in at least 2-3 races continuously, so that they have a
They are in
considerable
the
amount of
fight
lead. Yeah, so that
for
they remain in the
P5.
fight. And yes, Mick and Kevin have to fire up in coming races, because
Also, surprisingly, McLaren are not that far. Like because they're sitting in P4, they're not as ahead as they are like they would like in P5 because
yeah,
from P5 because McLaren are on 46 points and Alfa Romeo on 31. तो
because
ज्यादा difference नहीं है.
वो भी एक McLaren also has become a one-legged thing where Norris is
Yeah,
only pulling on, because
Norris has got
Ricardo
35
has.
out of the 46 points.
Because I've been seeing a lot of, I've been seeing so many polls where they're talking about Ricardo leaving
Retiring.
this season, retiring this season. So because how many excuses can one have that it's a new
Like
car,
अब
it's a new setup, and
कितना तू 3 साल से तू 2 साल से वही बोल रहा है राइट लाइक
yeah,
तूने 2 साल में एक विन लिया है अभी तक not even a podium
so
and
yeah.
Lando on the other hand वो consistently podium after podium ला रहा है तेरे लिए.
तो मतलब हर रेस के बाद हम लोग ऐसा तो नहीं बोल सकते कि अरे रिकार्डो ने जाके साइंस को सॉरी बोला, फील गुड फैक्टर, it doesn't, a team doesn't run like that, it require a driver. So there were rumors that they may get in Colin Herta, who used to drive for McLaren
McLaren in Indica.
IndyCar. So
Correct.
so McLaren certainly has a lot of options in the bag.
I mean, they've got even if they decide to if Gasly decides to move out of the Red Bull program because वो beast है
वो
रे.
नहीं, वो ओकॉन को रिप्लेस करेगा.
अगर so then what Ocon to Mercedes?
Ocon to nowhere, dude. Ocon is
I don't think so. Ocon
एकदम
to nowhere क्योंकि
disposable.
देख भाई दो चीजें है. एक तो Ocon is a French driver driving for a French team, so it's very difficult for Alpine to leave him. दूसरा Ocon
Pierre Gasly is also a
हाँ
very good French driver.
पता है but Alonso firstly needs to decide to hang his shoes up. Like चाचा क्या कर रहे हो? हो गया
Alonso is
आपका.
doing well now. The problem with Alpine is this season, if you go to see, Alonso is doing well. Between both the drivers, Alonso is the one who scored.
Fair enough.
तो वो एक है. Then second is that
Also Toto is Mr. Ocon's manager. तो I don't think so.
yeah.
Toto उसको like अगर वो dispose हो गया from F1
See, there are a lot of options.
तो Toto उसको reserve driver बनाएगा Mercedes में. Like तू इधर आ जा.
नहीं, there are lot of options, वही तो बात है, बहुत options है. इसके लिए अपन एक ये डिस्कशन के लिए अपन एक अलग से एपिसोड
अलग
ही
से
रखना
पॉडकास्ट
पड़ेगा.
करते हैं. लेट्स गेट बैक टू
Because
मायामी.
there are so many drivers who may leave the coming season. Like there are many. There's Vettel, there's probably Hamilton who may hang up his boots. There's Alonso who may leave for all we know. So we never know because तीन चार ऐसी places खाली हो जाएंगे. So we don't know. So
But I think the only reason why I'm saying Gasly might leave, I think Gasly should leave the Red Bull program is A, because he's maxed out his potential,
yeah,
you know, at AlphaTauri or Toro Rosso, however you want to call it.
because the
He's
way
maxed
Perez has
out.
been driving this season,
He's
Perez
not
is
going to get
going nowhere.
replaced.
Perez is
Perez
going
is
nowhere.
not going
So
anywhere for
he's
at
not
least
getting
1 year.
that seat. And we have had this talk about Gasly being very vocal about him wanting to go to Red Bull.
Red Bull.
And Gasly ये season has been lacking that mojo जो जिस हिसाब से उसे लास्ट सीजन चलाया भाई
Last
साहब,
season,
बहुत
he basically gave helmet
बहुत
Marko
सही.
the middle finger. He like, ये ले, तू गांड
हाँ.
भरा.
And but this season he's been lacking something. अब वो हो जाता है ड्राइवर में कि वो एक ही टीम में रहेगा. He's outperforming all the time. That happens. So I think he requires some amount of, you know,
I think he requires some amount of motivation in the head कि भाई ठीक है तू perform कर ले, तेरे पास एक option है seat, you know, outside of AlphaTauri, because I think even he's gotten into his head कि भाई मैं जो भी करूँ, जितना भी करूँ, मैं इधर ही हूँ.
and
Like
any
I'm not
team,
moving up in
any
my
team,
career.
or if at all Lewis Hamilton decides to go somewhere else,
Gasly is an option.
Gasly is an option because options है ही क्या Mercedes के पास. Mercedes के पास अभी निक डिवरीज को तो नहीं लेंगे.
Nick DeVries तो बेचारा, I feel bad for him.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that amount of Formula One experience also. So they'll all obviously go for Gasly, who's a better driver. And so अगला नेक्स्ट सीजन मेरे को लगता है ये समर ब्रेक तक तो समझ ही आ जाएगा अपने को कौन किधर जाने वाला है, कौन रहने वाला है. तो
But getting back to Miami, the only reason for the people that are watching, the only reason we are going so off track from Miami is because Miami में इतना content था नहीं.
exactly.
It was such a boring race. The only three things that were good were, okay, on lap 9, Verstappen overtaking Leclerc. On lap 41, Lando crashing with Gasly. And on lap 53, lap 53, Vettel crashing with Schumacher. बस और कुछ था ही नहीं. Okay, fine, we can talk about the underdog performance that Albon made from P18 to P9.
I think that has been one of the main highlights of every race because he's been driving so well, and he'll continue to grow in this team, I feel, because
Yeah,
I was really
100%.
happy when I heard that Williams is that is coming back to Williams, and is coming back to Formula One, and this is a great driver. And apart from that, looks and he's very level-headed as a driver, has a good temperament also. So what happened to him in Red Bull was pretty unfortunate.
I think that was not the pressure of only. I think it was the pressure of moving to Red Bull just after half a season in F1. एक
yeah.
तो वो सीधा रेड बुल में आ गया, एंड देन ठीक है उसका आधा सीजन चला गया, उसने एक साल और चलाया रेड बुल के लिए, लेकिन यू गोइंग अप अगेंस्ट मैक्स वर्स्टैपेन एंड यू हैव ओनली ड्रिवन एन F1 कार फॉर 1.5 years of your life. ठीक है, तू 1.5 साल चलाया गाड़ी और तू सीधा मैक्स वर्स्टैपेन के खिलाफ compete कर रहा है. तू प्रेशर नहीं सह पाएगा. You won't be able to keep up with him. On the other hand, Checo, who's been in F1 for 10 years, he joined in 2010. Then he got a seat in 2021. He had completed 10 years in F1. तब जाके वो अब भी P4 आ रहा है. Like, you know, when Max Verstappen
Because
is
driven
winning,
for so many teams. He's driven for Sauber. He's driven
for
for that
McLaren,
McLaren with the Honda engine, which
with
was
the Honda engine.
which was really sad. Then actually he grew in Force India.
He grew in Force India.
Racing Point. That is where he grew as a driver. And he could get better off the tires and everything. So I think Albon is also going the same trajectory. He'll grow as a driver in Williams tomorrow if he decides, if he gets an upgrade where he goes to a better team, he'll perform well. because all these performances will do well for his confidence as a driver. I'll get to learn a lot about the car also. So because he's already driven a Red Bull, he's already driven Red Bull. He's done a lot of sim work for them with the Honda engine,
And
and
he's still
now
being sponsored by Red Bull.
yeah, and now that he is driving a Williams and understands the nitty gritties of how to drive a Mercedes power car, so he has both the experience now. So as a driver, he'll grow better. Like जो चेको के साथ हुआ, कि चेको ऑलरेडी न्यू, क्योंकि चेको वो चीज कर चुका है. चेको देखा, चेको इन अ वे, चेको इज बैक्ड बाय कार्लोस स्लिम. जो चेको डजंट, चेको इज वन ऑफ दोस ड्राइवर्स कि हाँ मेरे पास पैसा बहुत है, मैं पैसा लेके आ रहा हूँ. उसको रेडबुल ने लिया भी एक एंगल से था कि ये
Claro,
पैसा लेके आएगा.
claro.
तो तो पैसा लेके आएगा, तो
And in
चेको में
fact,
कॉन्फिडेंस है.
Checo, when Force India went under, when Mr. Vijay Mallya, who with pride we say, and brought F1 to India. But when, on a serious note, when Checo went under, he was one of the creditors of the team though.
Yeah.
Like team उसको पैसा अभी भी देना था, लेकिन he such a nice soul.
Yeah.
वो बोला कि भाई देख मैं रिवाइव करूंगा कैसे ना कैसे, तुम टेंशन मत लेना. And he did it. उसके पास बहुत पैसा है रे.
Yeah.
So he's not very worried about that. And Checo drove a good race, yeah, finishing P4 ahead of the Ferraris.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's been having one of the best seasons in his career. Undoubtedly,
He's being able to keep up with Verstappen within half a second, not even within
Yeah.
2/10 of a second, within 1/10 of a second. And there he got his first pole, yeah, this year.
Yeah.
He got
I
his
think
first pole position.
He's been very happy with Red Bull, and I think
Red Bull have been very happy with him.
Yeah, and maximum number of podiums with Red Bull, I think now.
Yeah.
So
he's got.
So I think he'll go stronger going ahead, because he's been saying he's been playing the second fiddle properly now. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये अगर P1 पर है तो चेको P5 P6 क्वालिफाई हो रहा है, ऐसा है नहीं. He's somewhere there.
But उसने वो भी कहा था, this year I wanted to charge up for a championship fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a little difficult this season, I feel, with Leclerc being in the play and Ferrari.
He's currently Max Verstappen is 85, he's 66, so he's around 19 points behind.
Yeah, but then you have Leclerc also,
who's at 104.
Yeah, so you have Leclerc
38
also.
points आगे है, मस्त चिल कर रहा है. I think
Mercedes छोड़ेगा, Ferrari छोड़ेगा तो नहीं. हाँ, कंस्ट्रक्टर्स में you don't know क्या हो सकता है, because साइंस भाई गाड़ी ठोके ना, बस इतना ही.
भाई वही है.
But do you think that थोड़ा the way Sainz has been driving of late, we can see the difference in the confidence dip, the way he drove last year, man, the way he was driving last year, कि वो ऐसे
he finished P5 in the drivers championship, bro. What a guy. And who were the top four? Verstappen, Lewis, Checo, Bottas, and then him.
Yeah,
crazy.
So he drove better than Leclerc last season, and this season we've seen that confidence dip, and that will obviously happen when you have the way Leclerc has been driving. He's not been doing mistakes this year. So, but I'm raring to see that competition between Leclerc and Sainz.
I think this year it's become Leclerc and Sainz have become what Verstappen and Perez were last year.
Yeah.
So, Sainz is forced to protect Leclerc up ahead so that he can continue his championship battle, and he doesn't want to do that right now. Sainz doesn't want to do that. Sainz wants to make the championship charge. He wants to make a fight for the trophy. But with the way had he not had 2 DNFs in a row, he could have probably said कि ए बिनो तो सुन, तू उसको बोल मुझे डिफेंड करने के लिए.
नहीं, even after 2 DNFs in a row, his contract got extended. They see a potential.
It got before that, luckily, yeah. He got extended, then he had 2 DNFs in a row.
Yeah. So it's see unfortunate था वो चीज तो. I mean अभी अभी अब लेक्लेयर ने भी काफी मिस्टेक्स किए लास्ट ईयर वैसे.
वो तो है ना, I am stupid.
हाँ. So
इमोला ने भी उसने ही fought too hard, went over the curb, spun, ended up P6 instead of winning the race.
yeah. So but what I feel is that if science gets to finish more 2-3 races like this, we will see him fight for more podiums, more points. And science is a good driver, man. I mean, the way he started off last season, I have never seen any driver being this comfortable in his first season with a new team. So
Science crazy. I mean,
on the word
Science
go,
is
he
one
was
of
there.
the most consistent drivers. Like he
Yeah.
is the one guy that you can say ठीक है उसको जरूरत नहीं है गाड़ी used to होने की, because even if he was in Renault से निकला वो McLaren में गया, sorry Toro Rosso से निकला Renault में गया, Renault से निकला McLaren में गया, McLaren से निकला Ferrari आया,
And
and
for
he adjusted everywhere.
all the teams he drove really well, and to adjust, and it is said that McLaren it's not a
Difficult
difficult
car.
car to drive, but it's a very peculiar car. It's
You
not the
have to
same
adjust to
setup.
it, otherwise you
Yeah,
won't be able to drive it.
yeah. So especially if you're someone who likes to go into late braking, the car is a little different. The car doesn't
Difficult,
behave
yeah.
the way you want it to behave. Uh, so he's done it. So I think more 2-3 races where we see him on the podium, because 2 DNFs in a row, that affects the confidence of a driver totally. I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
so for the drive, so, but this first race in Miami, his first podium in the US, so that'll do him wonders. So
I'm excited. Now I'm excited for what Sainz has in the next race, because the next race is his home Grand Prix.
of course he'll be carrying in that confidence the next race.
He's got Barcelona coming up next, and
Excuse me.
Barcelona, God bless you, and Barcelona is his home race, and he's got a car that can fight for the win.
Yeah.
So I think the ideal scenario for him would obviously be taking pole and getting on the race to win. But statistics have shown in the past that the drivers that have taken pole in Barcelona have not more or less gone to win the race.
Yeah.
So I think
he's going
to try and see what. Let me confirm the stat though, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the drivers in the past that have, because if I remember very clearly, last year also that happened. The year before that also, we didn't have Barcelona, but it happened. So हो सकता है that this year also, if the driver has taken pole, he doesn't win the race. However, it's going to be interesting to see how he charges up for the fight actually, because he will want to get his first. I mean, what better to get your first win in F1 on home soil, right?
Yeah, he may, because see, it's there's a lot into play, because the way Red Bull has been closing in the gap with Ferrari, it has been tremendous, and the way Red Bull has kind of totally dealt with the issue of porpoising, it's ingenious. Like it's not
crazy.
I mean, there's no porpoising in the car. फेरारी में फिर भी है हाई स्पीड कॉर्नर में थोड़ा हो जाता है, बट रेड बुल इट इज नॉट देयर एट ऑल. सो दे हैव डेल्ट विद इट क्लियरली, एंड देयर हैज बीन अ दे आर क्लोजिंग इन ऑन द गैप वेरी सून. एंड अगर उनको जीतना है, दे आर वेरी क्लोज टू देयर कंस्ट्रक्टर्स दिस सीजन. तो दे वुड वांट दैट स्वीट थिंग कि अरे यार पहला सीजन है, कंस्ट्रक्टर्स के साथ लेके जाते हैं तो थोड़ा दे कैरी इन द मोमेंटम आल्सो. So
they are just about 20 points, not even 20. I think they're 6 points or something away from the constructors. मैं एक second देख लेता हूँ. Yeah, they're 6 points. I was right. 157 to 151. They're 6 points away from the constructors. And I think that's where the money is, right? At the end of the day. तेरा पैसा ठीक है ड्राइवर चैंपियनशिप से आ रहा है, लेकिन इतना नहीं आएगा जितना तेरा कंस्ट्रक्टर से आएगा. तेरा कंस्ट्रक्टर से जितना पैसा आएगा, that is in hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And that can all be put towards the next year's car.
And they would definitely want that initial push ahead, like new season, and everything. Just a second, I think my one charge.
Mhm. But yeah, I think moving on, what like you said, they'll definitely want to put up the champion. They are putting up the championship fight this season, and I think they have resolved the issues of reliability that they had earlier on. You know, with the powertrain, with the RBPS um, becoming an issue, RBPT, sorry, becoming an issue. They've been able to battle that on a much better. Okay, I'm alone on the stream. That's okay. They've been able to battle that a lot better, and I think guys, they've been able to actually um, fight, make a championship chart. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they do in the next few races, because I think we're just what was this? This was race number. Someone in the chat, please tell me what race this was if I can't find it. Let's see. This was racing fast. This was race number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
This was race number 5. Yeah. So this was race number 5, and it's very exciting to see what they do. It's a 19 race longer season, or 24
Yeah.
or 2018 race, whatever, 23 races ka season. So you've got a good championship charge coming in with Red Bull. I'm gonna excited to see. But the main people that I really want to see in the championship battle, only because it's going to be a fun championship battle, then it's going to be Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and if McLaren can get their act together and Danny Rick can finally show who he is really, because
I really don't feel that. I don't know. This is going to be. It doesn't
there's
seem to be like a season that it is, because last season also after Imola we thought
someone has
it
asked, speaking exactly about what, because I'm going to cut you off there, because
yeah,
someone has
yeah,
asked in the chat about exactly Danny Rick. What do Danish Modi asked, what do you think about Daniel's future? Danish, we were exactly discussing that right now. Ki you can't back him up every single time he makes a fuck up, because कितना करोगे, like हाँ ठीक है, you're
yeah,
a honey badger, you've got that loving nature, but भाई talent अब दिखा रहे, you're 34 now, you don't have much time.
exactly. So we can't, like, the team has backed you up enough, and the team has given you a car, because it's not that his teammate got a podium in the last race, and no one expected McLaren to kind of dig, like, no one thought it will dig themselves out of the grave so fast, and they got in a podium, and Norris has been driving a brilliant race.
Brilliantly.
It was really unfortunate in Miami what happened,
Yeah.
but it's just that, he's not been driving up to the same level, and you have to accept that. See, he had a better car. I think, somewhere down the line, when I still think कि अगर रेनॉल्ड नहीं छोड़ के मैक्लारेन में नहीं आता, so he would have had a great season with Alpine, because he was adjusting very well to the Renault car.
Correct, but
And
also Fernando Alonso was in the sidelines, no?
no, but if this guy wouldn't have taken the call, they wouldn't have considered Fernando. No, they wouldn't have,
Yeah,
because
Cyril Ebitubul said that.
so I don't know. So because
Let's see, but
yeah,
go on.
because if you go to see, after Danny Rick announced that he's going to go to McLaren, they took a good 1.5 months of time to just announce that. There weren't even rumors. उसके 1.5 month क्या rumors आना चालू हुए कि yeah, Fernando coming back to Renault, and they're going to rebrand the team and everything. And he had a good thing going on with Ocon also, because
Correct.
they both had a very good thing going on with Ocon. And with Ocon that season, I still remember his first podium where he came P2. So
Mm. P3 and then P2, no, P2 and then P3.
P2, P2 आया वो पहले, so they that was a good season for Renault. So I think McLaren, मेरे को लगता है it was too soon उसे anticipate किया कुछ, और that was too soon for him
He
to.
he saw he saw the pace McLaren had, no, the year before,
Yeah,
and McLaren were killing it. They got P3 in the constructors. They were getting podium after podium. Sainz was fighting for the win in Monza that year, which Gasly won. And I can never forget Crofty's commentary. like when he said David beats Goliath, that commentary still gives me goosebumps. Bro, Monza का commentary कुछ अलग ही है. Like one is obviously that David beats Goliath, and then when Leclerc won in Monza for the first time, which was his first win as Ferrari driver
Yeah,
in Monza. No, sorry, second win as a Ferrari driver, but first one in Monza. He goes, he won in Spa, he wins in Monza. Charles Leclerc wins the Italian Grand Prix. Like क्रॉफ्टी का कमेंट्री कुछ और है यार.
या कल का मुझे वो पोस्ट रेस कमेंट्री भी काफी अजीब लगा, मतलब वो कौन था वो, आई डोंट नो.
पता नहीं ब्रो, पोस्ट रेस कमेंट्री ब्रो, लोग पीपल इन फ्लोरिडा वर थिंकिंग क्या चल रहा है.
या दैट्स व्हाट आई मीन.
एंड इमेजिन इफ समवन इन फ्लोरिडा इज फाइंडिंग दैट वियर्ड, you know
या
it's messed up because फ्लोरिडा में पता नहीं क्या क्या होता है.
दैट्स व्हाट.
अगर तू गूगल में जाके फ्लोरिडा मैन टाइप करेगा तुझे बहुत.
फ्लोरिडा मैन, आई एम गोना डू दैट, आई एम गोना टाइप दैट फ्लोरिडा मैन.
Dude, just type Florida man and press enter. तुझे जो search results मिलेंगे.
ओके.
But anyway, there's another question in the chat by Danish Modi. If Danny has a bad season this year, can Oscar Piastri replace him and McLaren? See, Danish, it all
Of
depends
course.
on, he can, but it all depends on what Mr. Latifi is doing, what Mr. Hamilton is doing, what Mr. What Alpine want to do with him, because he is currently under contract by Alpine. So if Alonso decides to hang up his shoes, Alpine will have first preference to keep Oscar Piastri in the Alpine Academy and promote him to the Alpine F1 team. And if Alonso does decide to obviously hang up his shoes, it's Oscar to Alpine. But if if Alonso decides कि नहीं मैं और race करेगा, and Danny decides कि मैं नहीं करेगा, or McLaren decides for Danny, then there's a very high chance that Oscar Piastri gets upgraded. But also on the other hand, you've got to understand that McLaren also not a sister team but powered by Mercedes. So Mercedes will try to get their junior drivers into the seat. Like if Ocon wants to get the seat, he'll also get a chance. And you've got other people. You've got Stoffel Van Dorn.
Of course, there's Stoffel Van Dorn. Then there's
also Nico Hülkenberg that is currently contracted by Mercedes, even though he's a reserve driver for Aston Martin. So you've got those other options. So it's a very tricky situation. But if Alonso decides to, like, to sum it up, if Alonso decides to hang up his shoes, then Alpine have first choice, first dibs on Oscar Piastri.
So let's hope that we have a good race next.
Next race is Barcelona. It's in about 2 weeks, and I think it's a triple header. It's a double header. We've got 28th to 20th, 22nd of May is Spain, 27th to 29th is Monaco. So we've got a double header coming up, and then after that again we've got a double header, which is Baku, 10th to 12th June, and 17th to 19th June, Canada.
So guys, like the stream, follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining in the stream, and we're sorry for the issues in the beginning. So
yeah. Also, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and we've got a surprise interview coming out. We're not going to reveal the names. We're just going to drop some hints. It is related to motorsports and esports, actually, and motorsports in general. But keep looking out for this space and Couch Pundits on Instagram. Know who we've shot a video with. Fun. It was a lot of fun that we shot. We're hoping to release the video soon. It was a lot of banter. We asked a few questions regarding motorsport in India and all of that. So we're not going to reveal who it's with, but
something really
it's going to be fun.
Guys, so,
looking forward to it. But anyway, follow us. Yeah, it was very interesting. Dhaval and I had taken the interview. Unfortunately, Sid couldn't be there, but it's a very interesting interview that we've done. And follow all the description.
Watch out for our community page on
keep
YouTube.
Following to know who it's with. Yeah, it's actually on a community page on YouTube, so you can go and check that out. Who we shot with. Anyway, have a good night, guys. Shetty, thank you for joining the stream.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
It was fun. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Shetty, on the backhand. Thank you, Utkarsh. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you next week.